everybody, and welcome to the Morgan Dragonmoon Show. Tonight, we are going to be talking about the television series Stargate. Well, it's also a movie series. It's also a movie, but it's also a television series. And the question that comes into people's minds is, was our gods of all the various different religions of the world actually extraterrestrial beings, or were they advanced beings that lived on this planet previously before humanity ever existed? That's the topic of tonight, and other topics that might raise up. It all depends on what ends up coming up tonight. So anyways, what is the Stargate series? Well, first of all, the Stargate series is actually starts off as a movie that was created by Roland Emmerich. I think that's what his name was. Let's see here. Stargate. A movie by Roland Emmerich that came out in 1994. I was only 4 years old when it came out, or wait, hold on. When did it come out? Dang ads. When did you come out? Oh, yeah, I was only 4 years old when it came out. So without further ado, I'm going to share the screen as we read about what the Stargate series is about. All right. Just 1 second here. So the whole premise of the franchise begins with this movie. It was released on October 28th, 1984 by MGM. Starred Kurt Russell, James Spader, and Jay Davidson. I just watched this movie a couple days ago. It's pretty good. Although I fell asleep partially towards the end. Kind of embarrassing about that. So basically what at first happens in the movie is they're doing an archaeological dig in Giza, Egypt in 1928. Professor Paul Langford discovers an artifact, a large metal ring with symbols around the edges with 9 chevrons that has been protected by cover stones. His younger daughter Catherine acquires an amulet, and I'll show you what the amulet looks like later on here. After becoming one of the laughing stocks at one of his seminars where he proposed unpopular theories about the building of ancient pyramids, Dr. Daniel Jackson, a radical, young, down-on-his-luck Egyptologist, is confronted by Catherine, now an old woman, about job decoding Egyptian hieroglyphs for the United States Air Force. Dr. Daniel Jackson is a prominent character in the Stargate SG-1 series as well. Meanwhile, Colonel Jack O'Neill has been recalled to active service. His son just died, who accidentally killed himself with his father's gun. O'Neill has become sullen and remorse because of that. An interesting fact is that Kurt Russell plays Jack O'Neill in the movie, where in the television series he's played by Richard Dean Anderson, the guy that plays MacGyver in another TV series. So then they discover one of the symbols is the final code they need to dial into the Stargate to use it. And they go onto a desert planet and discover that there is a pyramid on that planet, along with three different moons. And they are pretty angry at Jackson, believing that the information to get them back home was at the spot where the Stargate is at, but it's not. And they're about ready to blow up the place before they become discovered by the local primitive people of the planet. And Catherine's amulet has the Eye of Ra on it, and the people think that these travelers have been sent by the god Ra. And then an alien spacecraft lands on the pyramid behind the temple, and several armed guards round up the crew. Dr. Jackson discovers the people of Abydos, that's the name of the planet, I guess, are ruled by an ancient being posing as the god Ra. Ra, he discovers, has achieved immortal life using human body, and forces the Abydonians to mine Naquadah for his technology. And this is Ra's ship here. Looks exactly like a pyramid, but with a bunch of hieroglyphs on it. Find another spot with the return coordinates in the same room. However, the seventh symbol has worn off and is now indecipherable. Convinced that they'll be trapped on the planet forever, the team heads back to the temple, but O'Neill and Jackson are captured and brought before Ra. Ra presents them with the bomb, O'Neill and planet, and Jackson is horrified discovering what Colonel had been planning. O'Neill attempts to kill Ra, but is overpowered, and Jackson is killed in a struggle. However, Jackson awakes in a sarcophagus and encounters Ra, who tells him that he plans to send a nuclear bomb back to Earth with a dose of Naquadah, increasing its power 100-fold. Furthermore, Ra tells Jackson to kill his comrades before the Abydonians, validating Ra's position as God. Jackson refuses to do so. Ra will kill him and his comrades, and eventually all the Abydonians. And there's a large event where Daniel Jackson's ordered to kill Jack O'Neill. Eventually, they end up fighting against Ra and his forces. Ra's got Horus guards. They end up sending the disarmed bomb on board Ra's ship, and with the transport rings, the bomb goes off, killing Ra and destroying the ship. O'Neill's men return to Earth, but Jackson chooses to stay behind with Shari before O'Neill leaves. Jackson hands him Catherine's amulet, tells him that it brought him luck. This is the Horus guards. And if you're wondering what Ra looks like, I'll show you what Ra looks like. And that's one of the pictures of Ra. Let me go back here. Sorry, I'm scrolling pretty fast. I'm trying to find another picture of Ra. Well, it's kind of hard to find. But pretty much Ra is a part of these extraterrestrial beings called the Goa'uld. Let's see if I can find about the Goa'uld. But anyways, they're not the only extraterrestrial beings in the Stargate universe. Okay, so here is some of the Goa'uld. Baal, Sokar, Irti. That's Horus. Nubis. Alright, I'm going to go to the Goa'uld page. Oh, by the way, this is all spoilers to those who have not seen the movies or the shows. If you don't want to watch this part, go back now and then come back later when I discuss more about it. If you don't care about the spoilers, it's okay. The show's been on for a long time. I'm pretty sure you can get caught up in no time at all if you can find where to stream all this stuff at. So the Goa'uld are advanced race of sentient symbiotic beings that take over hosts, including humans and Unas. Their planet is P3X888 and were known to be extremely egomaniacal due to their genetic memory and adverse mental effects of the sarcophagus technology. Goa'uld means God in Goa'uld language. Races which do not serve them are completely destroyed without compromise or mercy at all. Although the majority of them are parasitic, one-dimensional, genocidal, and maniacal, with some cases, such as Cronus and to a lesser extent Ra, apparently briefly self-aware, living out the patterns of their behavior as they existed thousands of years ago. There were few exceptions. Apophis at the time showed an unusual amount of insight, lucidity, and tenacity for the Goa'uld, showing great resourcefulness in escaping from Sokar's imprisonment, which he in turn allowed him to gain over Sokar's forces and becoming a greater threat before. I'm going to say Horus because I cannot pronounce that name. Was seen on the battlefield with his Jaffa as an active general, risking his own life alongside them rather than hide behind them, as Ra had particularly done. Baal was also able to survive the demise of the rest of the system lords, though being indefinitely more flexible and adaptable than any others had been, even at times aligning himself with SG-1 when the situation warranted for it. For the Goa'uld, gender appears to be a matter of choice or persona, and is not always defined by the host. One example is Osiris occupying a female body. Goa'uld appeared to have a certain sense to be able to express and feel love for their mates or, to a lesser extent, their children. However, the mating of two Goa'uld hosts creates a Harsis, an individual who, through Goa'uld genetic memory, possesses all the knowledge of the Goa'uld. With the knowledge, a Harsis could easily jeopardize the Goa'uld power structure by simply sharing the fact that they are not gods and how their technology works. For this reason, producing a Harsis was an unspoken taboo among Goa'uld, and if known to the extent, were hunted down and killed with impunity. Yeah, so the gold came to Earth around 10,500 BC. And were worshipped as gods and on the earth. If you're wondering what the word Tauri means, that's what they call us in that universe. It means people from the planet Terra, I think. Tauri. What does Tauri mean? Let me look again. Tauri is the term used by the inhabitants of the Milky Way to refer to as humans from Earth. The word means first ones or those from the first world in the Goa'uld language. So, in a sense, humanity is most humanity that's in other star systems. Earth was their original home. Until they either migrated to those other planets or they were seeded on those other planets. But Earth is primarily the home world of humanity. Let's see here. Let's stop sharing that site for now. And then I will share the list of the Goa'uld that are alive so far. Yeah, so we got Amaterasu. A lot of these names are pretty familiar because they're either Greek, Egyptian, Hindu, other gods as well. Kali, Moloch, Montu, Morgan. Thanos, Thoth, you. There was another list of all the others. Goa'uld. Let's see here. Look, Hades, Hecate, Poseidon, Kwan, Deimos, Eris, Raiden, Ray, Shiva, so as you can see, all the different gods from Hinduism, Egyptian, Greek, are all part of the Goa'uld in this universe. Then I will talk about one race that I find interesting because I happen to follow the Norse pantheon, and this extraterrestrial species is supposedly where the Norse pantheon is based off of, and they are called the Asgard. and they look like the Roswell Greys. They're a highly developed humanoid race that once had colonies in both the Ida and Othala galaxies, which visited and protected humans on Earth and elsewhere across Milky Way. When they're interacting with the early humans, they pose as beneficent protective gods, eventually giving rise to the Norse mythology on Earth. They were once part of the alliance of four great races. They were once of the most advanced races known to the galaxy, matched only by the Ancients, the Nox, and the Furlings. They assumed the role of the protector of the Milky Way galaxy, and they passed that role down to the Tari, whom they gifted all their knowledge and technology before the Ida Asgard committed mass suicide due to the failed attempts to repair the genetic degradation caused by the continuous recloning, and unwilling to allow their technology to be plundered by other races. However, a rogue group of Asgard known as the Vanir, that's another tribe of the Norse gods, were still alive in the Pegasus galaxy, consumed with their desire to survive, believing that the ends justify the means. The primary goal was survival, and they did not wish to end up like their distant cousins, which would result in the loss of hundred thousands years of history. So they would clone themselves from their original ancestor, which is that. But after so many cloning attempts, the copy's starting to fade and getting kind of like hard to clone now. This is one of the Asgard ships. Looks like a mule there in front almost. If this is kind of boring, let me know. I can stop talking about this. It doesn't look like anything else is on right now. The Asgard were fighting against the replicators, which is a synthetic being that literally do what they're saying they do, and they more or less try to have everybody be assumed under them, kind of like the Borg. I'm kind of tired. Oof. So these are the known Asgard. We got Aegir, and Famrir. Fenrir, Asgard scientist, escaped after his experiments destroyed the solar system. Freyr, Heimdall, Hermod, Kvasir, Loki, Fingal, Sigyn, Sundraha, Thor, Tyr, Zeus. That's interesting. Othala, that's one of the names of the Futhark runes. So the gray alien that was on the thumbnail, that was Commander Thor, and then the actual Thor was on there as well. Odin's one of the Asgard as well. It's just not on here. What's that? Just, I'll stop sharing that. So yeah, the gist of Stargate series is about, I think there's like 9 or 10 seasons of SG-1 that takes place right after the movie. Then there's Stargate Atlantis, which is about ancient civilization Atlantis, which ended up being a ship that is transported into a different galaxy, and that's where that series takes place. And it takes place in the Pegasus galaxy. Then there was Stargate Universe, and then after that, Stargate Origins, which is pretty much takes place in the past, and it kind of explains like how everything gets up to the movie Stargate. There's rumors that they're going to reboot the series with 3 movies, but I have yet to see that. Oh, excuse me. Now, where was I going with my thought? Oh, yes. Pardon me. Water went down my throat the wrong way. There we go. That's a little bit better. But so anyways, those that were wanting to avoid spoilers should be coming back by now. And hopefully those who didn't care about the spoilers found the whole premise of everything pretty interesting. So you're probably wondering, what is the point of all this, Matt? Is there something that you want to tell us? Well, yes, there is. There's actually a lot of people in the rabbit hole community that actually do believe that the Stargates actually exist. Supposedly there's, I thought I heard 4. I think there's 4 of them on this planet. There's 4 Stargates on this planet. Each of them connect to a different point in our galaxy. I do not believe you're able to dial into where you can go like how they do in the show, but I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on that. But one of the Stargates I know for a fact was at one point in possession by Saddam Hussein, and that was supposedly one of the reasons why we had the second Gulf War, was to try to recover it. That's the secondary objective, I guess. Because, yeah, on display in a museum. Excuse me. What else? Supposedly Syria as a Stargate as well. Area where ISIS and them were fighting a lot. That's supposedly where those Stargates at. There's rumored to be a Stargate in Mexico. I think in Chichen Itza. I'm not 100% sure if that's accurate or not. And there was at one point a Stargate attached to the pyramids in Egypt, but that I do not know if that's still there or not. But do I honestly believe the Stargate theory that there is interdimensional portals that connect us to other parts of the galaxy? I want to say yes. there's just so much that we don't know about further out in the galaxy. If you believe that outer space is real, because there's some people that don't believe that it's real. There's some people believe that it's just the barrier to the top of the dome of the flat plane, which is the water of the firmament, apparently. I don't know. I'm kind of on the I wish extraterrestrials were real, but I don't know if they are. Is it possible? Yeah, it's very possible that they're real. Do I believe that there is such thing as the extraterrestrial gods? That's a very good theory. It makes a lot of sense in a way, but at the same time, it kind of just downgrades the gods that I personally connected to. They just don't feel like how connecting to an extraterrestrial being feels like. It doesn't feel like that. It feels like it's something higher up, like almost like it's a very highly evolved energy. I honestly think they possibly could be the essence of a precursor being used to live on this planet, which is possible. That theory actually is explored a lot in Assassin's Creed series, where the Knights Templar and the Order of the Assassins pretty much are trying to fight out for control of the Earth, whether humanity should have free will or not. And that's actually a really good series. I like playing those games a lot. If you're interested in like watching about stuff about ancient aliens and stuff like that, check out the show on the History Channel. It's not bad. There's a lot of interesting things about stuff like that. Ancient extraterrestrials, like where did this come from? Supposedly the Sumerian texts talk about the Anunnaki, and supposedly that's an extraterrestrial race as well. I mean, it's very fascinating too if this is all another piece of the big puzzle that is the tapestry of figuring out what's really going on. Is there anything else I wish to talk about this matter? I do not believe that the gods are depicted like how they show in the show SG1 and all that. I don't think that's how they actually are, or if that's a representation of what species they are. But let me know in the comments below if you had any encounters with extraterrestrial life forms, and whether or not you think that they are the original gods and goddesses that came down this earth. It's an interesting theory, honestly. Oh man, it's been about 34 minutes. I'll probably end it around 50 minutes here, but I'm going to touch on a couple more things before I close close the video tonight. As most of you are aware, there is a convoy of occupiers in Canada right now, and they're protesting against authoritarianism, and some of the provinces there finally gave up and said, yeah, we're lifting everything, just don't kill us, bro, kind of a thing. Prime Minister over there is now starting to overplay his hand, I guess you could say, because now he's using his emergency powers and can do whatever he wants to there. However, a mistake I could see him making is having armed troops go in and trying to stop them, and they accidentally shoot at them. Because if they fire the first shot, it's a possibility that the whole world is going to turn on Canada. I don't think any of the Freedom Convoy people, in my opinion, have weapons on them. If they do, it's probably just pocket knives and stuff. I don't know. I'm not saying anything because I'm not part of that. I do support what they're trying to do, though. But yeah, if he uses the military on them, it's not going to be good PR-wise for him. Same thing if they do that in France, too. France is now starting to go through protesting again and stuff like that. I also believe that Israel is also doing something like that as well. So yeah, it's been an interesting ride around this time of year. Because now it's not just Canada that's having this go on, it's also France. It's also Israel. It's also the United States is starting to do that as well. So yeah, there's a big pushback against authoritarianism right now, and I do suggest that if you are not clear on what's really going on now, I would suggest you start clearing your mind and figuring out what it is that you are here for and what you need to know before your turn comes. What else do we want to say? It's getting about a little late now. But anyways, I would do more of my broadcasts right now, but I'm pretty beat right now. I kind of woke up a little early this morning and probably wake up early again tomorrow and do some more stuff tomorrow. I do plan on having a show Wednesday. It will be a free will donation readings for a tarot card reading. And yes, you will have to donate. It doesn't matter how much you donate. If you donate a penny or if you donate $150, it doesn't matter what you donate. But if you donate, I will give you a reading. That's what I'm going to do. It's free will donation, guys and gals. If you want to donate a penny, it's fine. If you want to donate $150, it's fine. I will stress that I'm not doing free readings. I did free readings that last time because it was a first time I've ever done live readings thing, and I felt like the whole donation thing didn't value at all. It didn't resonate at all with anybody or value anything at all. Because like when you legitimately want to donate, I feel like that puts more value on your actual reading than it does asking for a free reading, because I feel like with a free reading, I don't feel like I give you how much valuable it is for you as well as it is for me. I feel like my reading would be a lower quality than doing a donation reading, honestly. But otherwise, if I do feel drawn to you, I will do a reading for you. But other than that, it's free will donation. Anywhere from a cent all the way up to 150. It doesn't matter. You can either PayPal me. PayPal address is below. Or I think it is below. Yeah, it is below. No, I guess not. It's pretty much. What was I going with this again? PayPal address is the same as my email address. It's jdragonmoon90@gmail.com. I can type that here. Or you can also do Cash App, $, Morgan Dragonmoon. That's capital MORG and then capital capital DRAGONMOON. So it will look like right down below here. So that's a PayPal address. And then here's the Cash App right there. So if you're, like I said, not that one, sorry. If you're willing to do a free will donation, I will gladly accept it. If you're wondering where the donations are going to, they're going more or less to help me continue doing my work in the spirituality, as well as help make my store a little bit bigger, to help clients, and as well as keep more content going and stuff. That's all it is. I'm not really doing this for big profit. I'm not trying to go after my huge YouTube fame like everybody else would be. But yeah, that's about it. It's about 43:21. I think I'm going to end it tonight. But I pose this question to you. Do you believe that the ancient gods and goddesses of all the religions on the planet, including our ancestral folk religions, do you believe that they're extraterrestrial beings from another planet? Do you believe that they're an advanced species that used to live on this planet before humanity ever existed? Or do you believe, like mostly everybody else does, that they're more or less like aspects of a highest level of consciousness that actually have manifested in the physical plane? Let me know in the comments below what you think about that. But I'm going to end this broadcast for the night. Thank you all for watching. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody out there, including all the people that are not in relationships right now and those who are in relationships right now as well. Unfortunately, my girlfriend did not show up tonight for the show, but I wish her a happy Valentine's Day as well, my lovely Amber, and hopefully she'll be on with me the next show doing readings as well. But thank you all for watching, and blessed be everybody, and have a good night.